Good afternoon, everyone. We're here again. 1960D this time. Gonna open this very fresh roll. I'm looking at coins on the ends that look immaculate, so I'm hoping the rest of the roll is like this. Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland, 1960 Denver. Let's go ahead and get started and see what we pop out of here. So hello to Steel Horses, Eric Beyer, Bill Crusson, and whomever else is out there watching. We show 9 people right now. Now, for those of you who might be rather new to this process, when I open these rolls, I'm opening them with a plastic tool. That all I'm doing is pulling on the paper on the outside edges. Then I flip the roll over and start prying on the other end. But I'm prying at the paper only. I'm not touching the coins. I'm not messing with the coins at all. Just a matter of being able to get the paper open without tearing it and making a big mess. Alright. Wrapper over the paper just like usual. Ho, Techstar, Wanda Williams, Jeff Dunn, Farm Dog. Yeah, these are nice coins. Gonna be sweeties. Alright, let's get coin number 1. Push it up here for Farm Dog and see what we've got. Hopefully this is a really nice roll. Well, for condition, I have nothing to complain about right on the end. It's a very nice coin. Hello, yo man. This is a side that was exposed to the outside, which is why it's a little more orange than the other side was. So it was a tails out roll. Bulldog. Still got nothing on that first coin. Let's go ahead and move on to the second one. Try to see if we can get some results quickly out of this roll. Completely different bank, completely different time of the year, so these will be completely different dies from the other roll that we just opened. It turned out to be a nice one. How are things out in California today, Bulldog? A nice day without being too hot? Or is it just scorching there like it is here? There's Jessica. There she is. Alright. Got nothing else on that one, so we're going to go ahead and bag it and tag it and move on to the coin number 4 now. Coin number 4 will be for Randy. Coin number 4 for Randy. Doesn't look like we have anything here. Nothing on the obverse. Let's flip it over and look at the reverse. This could be a very different roll from the other that we just had. I'm fearing that it is, but I'm hoping that it's not. That's for sure. Jody says he can help in the first hour. Okay. Good, then I'll be packing boxes the first hour. Coin number 5 is Jim Fletcher. What do we have for Jim Fletcher? Yeah, it looks like not much. Yeah, nothing here either. That's his name in there backwards. His name back in there the right way around. Happens once in a while. Alright, that's coin number 5 for Jim Fletcher. I'll move on to coin number 6 now. This one's for Steve Patet. And Steve Patet will get, yeah, it looks like another normal coin. I'll be looking for something really good in this roll. Hopefully it pops out soon. It's that nervous laughter you get when I realize that I'm starting to run into a skunk. See it coming in slow motion. Coin number 7, Jim Fletcher. Again. And unfortunately, again, a normal coin. Alright, let me take a look at the other side. Nothing there. Michael Birchman. Let's see what Mr. Birchman gets. Another straight up normal 1960D Lincoln Cent. I'm seeing too many of these now. Up to coin number 8. Haven't found anything yet in a 1960D roll. You'd think that would be a little more possible here, but we've been to coin number 20 without finding anything before, so we'll see. It's coin number 9 now. Eddie Gems, coin number 9. Hello, Shannon Smith. Let me put you in moderator status first. That way you won't get kicked out of here, because we don't like people who are not moderators here, because most of them are trolls. And given that you're not a troll, we're going to make you a moderator. Now, the second part, which would be the first part of your question, how do you get involved? Well, unfortunately, you happen to have hit me right before I'm getting ready to move to another place. And so today is our, like, more or less kind of like our final day before we start working on shutting down. We've got a few more reveals to do tomorrow, but then I'm going to be done for the next month, nearly a month, probably 3 weeks. Jessica is going to be running her weekend auctions on Sunday afternoon, but reveal spots generally sell during the auction on Tuesday evenings. We have auctions just about every Tuesday. This one's for Hawkeye. And we sell spots in the rolls on Tuesday evenings at the Tuesday evening auctions. Our next Tuesday evening auction, I believe, is going to be around the 10th of August. I may come back on the 2nd, but it looks like it's whatever the Tuesdays are in those weeks, the first week or the second week of August. I will be back from my new location, where I will be doing more reveals, and I'll be selling more spots to the reveals. But for right now, we're kind of at weird times, because I haven't shut down even for a week in it's been well over a year now. And this is going to be a little strange for me, as it will be for a lot of other people, with no new broadcasts coming from my computer over a period of weeks. Now, I will stress that Jessica will be doing the weekend edition auctions here on the Copper Coins channel on Sunday afternoons at 6 p.m. Central Time. Alright, we've got an RPM here. Can see it especially on the lower serif. We'll zoom in and take a good look at it. Awesome. Well, Shannon, you found the right place. Is it a he Shannon or a she Shannon? We have a he Shannon. Let me move this back over. Turn the light up for you. You can see it there on the lower serif real easily. And you're a he Shannon too. Okay. Well, it's kind of like Chris or Pat. It's one of those names that's kind of hard to tell until you ask. Or Kelly. Yeah, a little bit on the top, but you got mostly doubling on the bottom serif. So this one's going to go in as die number 1 for the roll. We've got a heavy die scratch running right along the western fringes of the 9 of the date. And we're going to be able to use that as our marker to be able to determine that we've seen this die before when we run into it again. So we've got that big giant die scratch right there next to the 9. And let's see if we have anything else on this die before we flip it over. Nothing else, just that minor RPM. We've got a nice heavy die scratch coming straight down out of the center of the mint mark too. So it should not be difficult to determine that we run into another one when we do. And the hot chicks are named Charlie. That's weird. I don't think I remember seeing a chick named Charlie. I know back in the 70s they had a perfume called Charlie for women. A little sensitive to things like that. My name is Chuck, so obviously. It's just that I tend to look at and remember things named Chuck or Charlie more than other names. Alright, got nothing on that side. And as for this coin, looks to me like we're pretty much done. That was Randy, coin number 13. Lucky number 13 didn't turn out to be so lucky this time. Now coin number 14 for Steve Patet. And Mr. Patet looks at normal RPM, or normal mint mark, I mean. Normal obverse. Hey, CVS. Haven't seen you yet this week. See, you were in here Tuesday, but I haven't seen you since then. Started doing the reveals yesterday. I had a very busy week with packing packages and getting them mailed. Mailed out a whole lot of stuff this week. Whole lot. Hundreds of pounds. Eddie Jams. Eddie Jams comes up with the next coin in the roll. Let's see what we have here. Well, it appears to be a normal one. All things told and said. Well, it's always nice, Shannon, when you pop in for your very first roll and it happens to be a roll that we're doing really well on. Unfortunately, this one doesn't seem to be the case. But I will let you know at 5 p.m. today, we have another roll coming up. It's going to be a 1945 Denver. We've got 45D today, then we've got a 59D tomorrow, a 42D tomorrow, and a 53D tomorrow. So, out of all that, we have to have something. Something. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if woodchuck could chuck wood? That's a Geico thing. How long's it been since you called Geico? Hawkeye looks like it's going to pick up another one of our RPMs. That is one of our RPMs. This is die number 1 for the day, for the roll. Die number 1 for the roll. A second example of it here for Hawkeye. Oh, I can also do tongue twisters. I'm not bad at the whole tongue twister thing. Betty bought some butter for her batter, but the butter Betty bought was bitter. So Betty bought more butter for her batter. And that batter Betty bought was better. She sells seashells on the seashore. That was pretty easy, though. How about rubber baby buggy bumpers? Rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers. You get your experience being stupid when you get a mic and a YouTube channel. So I've got experience at that. I am the voice of reason for copper coins worldwide. Then your common one. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where is the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? I slit the sheet I slit, and in the slitted sheet I sit without saying shit. Okay. I don't think I've seen that one before. That's a new one to my book. Big black bug bit a big black bear. The big black bug made the big black bear bleed blue blood. Yes. So far, still only one die. We have 2 examples of that one die, and we're up to coin number 19 now. And here's another example of it. This is our third example of this die. Have that nice die scratch running along the western edge of the 9 of the date, and then we've got another one coming up underneath the D. Looks like a stick holding it up. So we know this is the same die that we've already messed with. Same markers. You should have heard my my voicemail message from a few years back. And in fact, I'm thinking about changing back to that voicemail message because people liked it. It was roughly a thing about talking fast. So I got myself all prepped and practiced up for it. I'll say it slowly so that you can all understand it. Research indicates that people don't have more than 15 seconds for a voicemail message, so I got all jacked up on Mountain Dew and cappuccino so I could get through this in that amount of time. If you honestly think I want to talk with you, leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I wind down. Otherwise, don't bother wasting your time because I probably won't call you back anyway. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Plus tax, title, license, dealer prep, and destination fee. Offer not valid in Alaska, Hawaii, Guam, Puerto Rico, or the U.S. Virgin Islands. Intelligence surcharge of $49 for every IQ point below 140 applies. Store credit and other restrictions apply. See store for details. The hell did I find? Concentrating more on comedy than coins. Not good. Not a good combination. The one about getting all jacked up on Mountain Dew and cappuccino so I could get through this in that amount of time. Yeah, that was my old voicemail message. This is another die 1 for the roll. Research indicates people don't have more than 15 seconds for a voicemail message. So I got all jacked up, Mountain Dew, cappuccino, so I could get through this in that amount of time. If you honestly think I want to talk to you, leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I wind down. Otherwise, don't bother wasting your time because I probably won't call you back anyway. Thank you very much and have a nice day. I did that in less than 15 seconds. I think my fastest time on it was 9.5 seconds. I didn't get that one recorded, though. Fastest one I got recorded, I think, was 13. I actually spent time in my car practicing that as I was traveling, just to make sure I could get through it really quickly. I think I did a pretty decent job. Generally, when I get a little bit excited and I'm talking to you guys about coins, I'm actually speaking very slowly. You have to understand that my normal speech tone is quite a bit quicker. Is it patented? No, I don't think so. I guess if you can take a bite out of a YouTube video, you can have it. I'd like to somehow get credit for it. It's like the number one thing I ever did that became more famous than anything else I ever did didn't get credit at all. And it's really weird. It's like, here I try writing books that are good, doing artwork that's really good. Here's a piece of wood. Hey, it's a woody. I try everything I try, and I end up doing nothing famous but for one small work of art that took all of about 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes to draw. And I did it because someone was being very thick about the difference between a double die and machine doubling, had no clue what we were talking about, trying to tell them that it was shelf-like and that it was flat and that it was blah, blah, blah. So I took a piece of paper and I drew 3 L's on it in perspective. And each of those L's were something different. One was of a hub doubled L. One was of a machine doubled L. And the third one was a normal L. And I drew those and took a photograph of my little drawing, and then I posted it in this message board that I was a member of. And it was over, just like that. Guy says, "Oh yeah, that's a pretty cool picture. Yeah, I understand now." I'm like, "Good. Glad you got it." So about 3, 4, 5 years later, I'm fishing around on Facebook, and I find my drawing posted by someone. No credit, of course. It was just my drawing. I knew it was my drawing. And it's just weird how it just showed up. And then all of a sudden I saw it show up again and again. And then I was over on the NGC board, and I saw it show up on the NGC boards. Then I even saw it show up in the PCGS boards. I'm like, wow, man, it'd be really nice if I was actually getting a penny for every time this was posted. I'd be rich. And eventually I went ahead and just threw my name and my logo on it. And so every time can I say the voice message again? Can't rewind on her phone. How am I going to get credit for it, though? I don't know how I'm going to do that. Yeah, we'll get to it here in just a minute. I'll get myself ready for it, and I'll just let you know that I'm going to do it again. Then I'll start off. I'm looking for something better than, like, absolutely nothing. We're halfway through the roll now. We have 4 examples of a relatively minor RPM. That looks like maybe all we're going to end up with out of this roll. That's not good. I don't like that. I don't like having to talk that way. All right, here's Eric Beyer, coin number 26. Coin number 26 is Eric Beyer. That's an interesting die scratch. May not be a die scratch. Looks like that might be a... Yep, it's a piece of fuzz, something sitting on the coin. Have to have him listen to it. Yeah. Chucky got a froggy in his throat. Oh, Randy, you just woke up. It's 2:30 in the afternoon, bruh. Well, where I live, anywhere it is. Mainline Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew cappuccino. If I'm gonna drink something with purpose, it's going to be Mountain Dew or cappuccino. My wife says she doesn't like Mountain Dew because it's like, it wires her. And I said, well, yeah, that's exactly why you drink it. As when I was a kid and I chose a soda, it would either be a Mountain Dew or a Dr. Pepper. Now, I like the taste of Dr. Pepper, but it doesn't do to me the same thing Mountain Dew does. Mountain Dew gives me clarity. It's almost like doing cocaine. Gives me like this smart, stark amount of clarity that allows me to think faster than anyone ever has before. No Pepsi for me. Pepsi and Coke belong in alcohol, and that's about it. Drinking them straight is kind of oof. It's too much for me, I guess. Here's one for Jeff Dunn. We're going to run coin number 28 now for Jeff Dunn. This is coin number 28. Now serving 28. Doom. Now serving 28. Like when you go to the DMV to get your driver's license renewed or to change your address on your driver's license, something stupid and really simple. You walk in, you tell the guy at the front desk what you want to do. And he says, oh, grab one of these tickets right over here. And so then you find out that your prefix letter is D. And so then you have to look up at the different little timer things to figure out where D is, or it's a huge TV showing PSAs, and in the corner it tells you what number they're serving presently. You look down and your ticket is D68. And you think, oh, well, okay. Then you look up and the now serving is D45. And you wonder exactly what your purpose in life is at that point. And you begin to think that maybe your entire purpose in life is just to sit in line at the DMV. By the time you people actually help me, I'm going to lose my house and have an apartment address, and I'm going to have to wait in line again. Because I'm not going to be able to work for 3 weeks while I'm waiting for you to change the address on my driver's license. By the way, I see where the restrooms are. Where's the food? Because if you're going to keep me in here as long as it appears that you're going to keep me in here, at least you could serve crappy finger food. Stale donuts or something. Something to keep me from chewing the head off of this 5-year-old who's running around the room like he doesn't have parents. I didn't say that, did I? Coin number 30, now serving D30 for Eddie Jams. Or we could just be a Garmin type thing and pronounce every name incorrectly. We could do that. Eddie James. Now for Eddie James. Oh, you missed a DDO coin on eBay. That sucks. Time for a coin story. Want to hear a coin story? Right after now serving D31 for time morrow. Yeah, I know, Jessica. It's like Eric Breyer. For I don't know, 6 weeks it was Eric Breyer. Well, he said, there's not an R in his last name. It's just Eric Breyer. I even asked him when he first came on. The first time I ever saw him come on, I said, is it Bayer or is it Bayer like the aspirin? And he said, Bayer. I said, okay, thank you. He said, just like Buyer. Since then, no worries. I've been calling him Eric Bayer ever since. My last name is one of those last names, you know. Daughtrey. If you look at how it's spelled, you can't pronounce it but one way, Daughtrey. It only makes sense one way. But if you don't know how to spell it, you're going to pronounce it every which way but loose. There is another one. Another die one for the day. It looks like die one for the day. This particular RPM is probably the only one we're going to end up getting out of this roll. We're 32 coins in, only found one RPM so far. Although we are now at 6 examples of this RPM for the roll. But yeah, people call me Doherty, Doherty, Dougherty. They do anything they can to screw it up. I mean, they're really trying hard to screw it up, and they do. I have to commend them for how much they screw my name up. Seamus Omaha gets one. There it is right here. Another die number 1 for the roll. All right. Oh, where is it? Trying to find my coin here. There it is. Peep-eye. Like I'm playing with a 3-year-old kid. Peep-eye. There it is. You didn't take your husband's name. Oh, Zaimis? Inelinikos. Αυτό είναι ελληνικός όνομα. Όνομα ελληνικός. Keep forgetting that. Right way to do it. In όνομα ελληνικός. So is it Zaimis? Because if it's Zaimis, then it would have the 2 dots over the I, correct? To show that it's what they call, I think, a diphthong. Zai, Ai. Said his sister-in-law named Raina. Raina has R-A-I-N-A and it has 2 dots over the I. Correctamundo. He knows his Greek. Everybody in this world, only 2 kinds of people. There's Greeks and people who want to be Greek. Just put some Windex on it. I can't get past a stupid bouzouki folk song. That's an English song that I bet it was probably written by American Greeks for Greek festivals or something. But it's so funny to listen to the song because you met a Greek god that turned out to you. It's the one that they say play bouzouki, ya mena, play bouzouki, ya mena. It's stupid. It just means play bouzouki for me in a mixed Greek and English. It's Greeklish. It's a Greeklish song. It's another die one. Another die one. Eddie Jams is going to get this one. Yeah, I know it's translated. But it was just kind of a, I don't know, worse than Skilatica. All right, here we go. Mike Birchman. Mike Birchman's going to get this coin. It's going to be coin number 37. 37 in the roll. Miss Jessica, are you ready? I think I'm ready. Yeah, I know it's an old song, but it's... I don't know. There's a lot of, like, Zorba-type music that I really do like. Hard to find, though. Okay, for those of you wanting to hear it again, this is my voicemail message from about 5 years ago, maybe longer, I don't know. But I will get through this, hopefully in one take. Hopefully I don't have to stop and start over again. It's another die one here. Okay. Hang on a second. Let me do the clear the throat thing. Okay. Now, a couple of big swigs of hot coffee. And get that throat exercised. Exercise. Okay, here we go. Oh, hey, Timothy. Hello, Timothy. Timothy Morrow. Waving back to you, bruh. I gotta get started here. This was my voicemail message a number of years ago. Research indicates people who don't have more than 15 seconds for a voicemail message. So I got all jacked up a Mountain Dew cappuccino so I could get through this in that amount of time. If you honestly think I want to talk to you, leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I wind down. Otherwise, don't bother wasting your time because I probably won't call you back anyway. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Got a little jammed up there in the beginning. But I did it. Yes. Thanks, Brother Dusty. You got taste, man. You got real taste, I tell you. Hey, this is normal on this side. Let's take a look at the other side and see what happened there. I could probably try to do everything really fast if you wanted me to. The problem is I don't think you'd understand everything I say. Either that or you would understand it and it would come to you about 5 minutes later. That's not fun. Not during an educational setting. Educational setting, we should be trying to speak slowly enough that everyone understands exactly what I'm saying at all times. Techstar. What does Techstar get? Oh, look at that. This is different. This is one of the nice ones. That is definitely nice. Let's zoom in on that. See that? Let me make it brighter for you. Got a nice doubled upper serif. It's got a little bit of a double on the lower serif as well. This is going to be a rotated clockwise. It's an RPM rotated clockwise, it does appear. Pretty nice one. This one's going to Techstar. This looks like it could be one numbered in the 70s or 80s. Most of the ones numbered in the 70s or 80s have this particular type of doubling. So it looks like this one could be one of those. Too much coffee. I don't drink too much coffee. I only drink about a half gallon a day. But I drink about 2 gallons of water a day, so. This one's a nice one. Well, we can actually mark it by the fact that it's got a whole bunch of die scratches running through the date area. That doesn't seem to be a very common trend with this particular roll, which means that this should be relatively easy to pick out next time around. And got nothing else on the obverse of the coin. Aha! Tim got his xylene. Make sure you use that in a very well ventilated area. I need to call the science company. Tell them I'm sending them a lot of business. Alright, well that's Techstar's really cool RPM. We don't have a number on it yet, but we'll call it die number 2 for now. That's just for sorting purposes, of course. CMOS Omaha gets the next coin. Let's see what we have for CMOS Omaha. This one's going to be a nothing. This one's unfortunately going to be a nothing. But I'm sure he'll sell it to you now for only $4.95. Low price of $4.95. But wait, there's more. You get this side too. You get obverse and reverse. Oh, look at that nifty little die chip. For only $4.95. That's plus $4.95 shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-RIP-YOU-OFF. That's 1-800-RIP-YOU-OFF. Oh, this one's a different one. Altogether different. It's got a nice little split lower serve. It's got a nice little split upper serve. It's an earlier die state. Has a few little die scratches running through the mint mark area. It is rather minor, but it's definitely there, that's for sure. Looking around to see if we have anything else going on here. We are into a different die now. So now we've got 3 different dies, and 2 of those we've only got 1 example of. And the other one we have, oh, I'm going to say close to 10 now. Nice die break above the right cornice on the reverse. A die scratch. Not a die scratch. Thought we had a die scratch to mention, but we don't. We do have one to mention. It's a big die scratch, big angled die scratch right under the center of the memorial building in the field. You found a couple of small dates and a 60D roll. That was actually relatively common because there was a number of days that large date and small date were minted on the same days. And so they can easily be mixed together in certain rolls. Those, my friend, are the rolls that I would be very careful. Hey, there's another die number 2. This one's going to Randy. I know his name is just Randy, but when you spell it R-A-N-D-E-H, it just makes me want to say Randy. Randy. Those are the rolls, the ones with the mixed large and small date are the ones that I would be watching closely for that DDO number 1 RPM 100. It's the one that has the small date over large date. Those are the ones I'd be watching for sure. Alright, so here we go there. Nice one. Nice one. Die number 2 for the day, for the roll. I usually say for the day, and I mean for the roll because we're going to have other ones for the day. They're just going to be out of different rolls. So saying die number 2 for the day is not necessarily correct. Kind of like ATM machine. That's not necessarily correct either. The M stands for machine. But people say it that way anyway. And if you want to be taken as normal when you're in the middle of a conversation, you don't say, let's go to the ATM. Because they're waiting for you to say, machine. Let's go to the ATM machine. You know it's very incorrect, but it only sounds correct. So that makes me want to say to people, well, let's just go down to the ATM-M. Then they really look at you like you're weird. But don't we do all kinds of things in our society that are redundant? Lots of redundancies in our society. Alright, we're looking at the reverse of this coin. This one turned out to be normal on the obverse. I'm just going to take a look at the reverse to see what's here, if anything. And we're going to back it, tag it, and move on. That was a bulldog coin there. We are up to coin number 46 now. Coin number 46 is going to go to Don Harmon. Mr. Donald Harmon, here is your coin. Kind of rather bit on the normal side to me. And we'll take a look on up at the eye area. Eye is normal. Eye is normal. I am normal. No, I'm not. Still waking up. Yeah, there were two 1960D rolls today. You missed the first one. It was at, well, I ended up here late because of issues with my internet, but I think it started at 11:30. Ran till about 12:30. Ran into one good die that we had a number of examples of that is a mystery so far. Ran into a couple of other dies that are kind of neat. Actually, one or two other dies. In this roll so far, we have 3 different dies, but we only have one example of die 3. We've got 2 examples of die 2. And of die 1, we have well over a dozen, but I haven't run into one of those in quite a while now, so we kind of have a shift in the roll, which is also possible. That could have been the last bag counted down with that batch, and then I switched over to a new batch. And so they just happened to be rolled up at the first half of a roll and not the second half. It would be a very scarce incident to happen if it did, but it is possible for that to happen. TTYL later. What does the L stand for to begin with, right? Talk to you later. Roger, Roger. Surely you don't mean we're going to crash. Yes, I do mean we're going to crash, and stop calling me Shirley. Kind of an interesting little guy here. I might have to pick it apart a little bit later, but it doesn't look like an RPM as we sit right now. You picked a bad day to be lazy. Why? Because of the reveals that we usually don't do on Sunday? Yeah, kind of an unusual thing that we're doing one on Sunday. But here it is, right? And we got a grand total of 2 coins remaining in the roll. Got Adam Chambers for coin number 49 right here. Oh boy, that's a different one. Definitely an RPM. Appears to be a nice RPM. And it is different from any of the other ones that I've seen so far in this roll. Big giant lower split serif with a lot of fatness in the bottom half of the mint mark. I'm pretty sure this one is listed. It looks like a number 80 or a number 82 or something close to that. We'll figure it out. We got plenty of markers to use. Now this is yet another die for the roll, so this one's going to be called die 4 for this roll. Take a look at the reverse and see what happens. Oh boy. This thing's got to have markers. Nice ones too. Looks like that whole part of the die is about to fall apart. interesting, one did say. Big giant die scratches to Pluribus Unum. Not going to be hard to find this if we have all the right markers, that's for sure. So there we go with that. That's coin number 49. Just as we were beginning to lose hope on the roll, we find a new die. 49th coin in the roll. A die we haven't seen. Don't tell me that stopping partway through a roll because you're not finding anything is not a bad thing to do. It's definitely a bad thing to do. Every day of it. Nicely toned surface on that obverse because it was pressed to the outside of the roll. And we have nothing on the reverse, so we are done with this roll. And that coin was for Deanne, coin number 50. So here's what we've run into. We've run into a rather sizable stack of normal coins here. We've got, I'm going to guess probably 35, 38 normal coins here. And then for die number 1, which is that interesting blob mint mark, we have 38, 36, 33, 32, 21, 19, 16, and 12. And to go to this side, we're going to go to Eric, Hawkeye, Techstar, Mike B, Eddie Jams, CMUS, Eddie Jams, and Steve A. Eddie Jams actually gets 2 of them. Now for die number 2, which is a nice little RPM, we got 2 of them, Randy and Techstar, which is coins number 43 and 40. Then we got one example of die 3 for the roll. That's going to be number 42, and it goes to Don Harmon. And then for die number 4 for the roll, we just saw this coin. It's going to Adam Chambers, coin number 49. And that's what I got, folks. That's it for this 1960 Denver roll. Join me back here live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, as I go through another roll. This one's going to be a 1945 D roll. It's going to be in one of those plastic tubes. Okay, well, let's check. This is number 191. Steel Horses should have had a coin in this roll, and I think you probably did. Let me check real quick. Steel Horses, you got coin number 18. Coin number 18 went to Steel Horses. My system that I use at this point in doing these rarely allows me to miss anyone. Because if I miss someone, I know it as soon as I'm doing the name cards, because I end up with an odd number of name cards. I don't end up with 50 name cards. So yeah, when I get somebody's name on the list, I'm going to say probably 99% of the time they make it into the reveal, and that 1% of the time is for human error, typography issues, or something to that effect. I do reserve the right to make mistakes. But when I do, I like to have them pointed out to me so I can correct them as quickly as possible. And on that note, I'm going to be done with this roll. We're going to come back at 5 p.m. today, 1945D plastic tube roll. We've had some pretty good luck with 1945D rolls as of late. So we'll see what we run into with this one. That's at 5 o'clock, and then tomorrow, actually before tomorrow, that's at 5 o'clock. Then at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, or Central Daylight Time, anyway, sorry. We're going to be running a Coin Night Live Auction Weekend Edition with your host, Jessica Johnson. I'll be there for probably about the last half of the show. Heck, who knows, I may even show up for the beginning. I don't know. But it's not about me. It's about Jessica. The inventory that she has is nice, good, fresh inventory. And she's worked through it, and she has quite an auction prepped for you. So be there at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Pacific. And she'll entertain you with a whole host of coins. I don't even know how many coins are on the list. I know there have to be plenty. Let's see. Weekend 22. Show number 22. Now we're looking at close to 100 items. 100 items to go out today. Hello, Mike Connors. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take off and get myself prepped for the next roll, and then we'll be back at 5 o'clock to take care of this 1945D roll, and we'll be back again at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central, for Jessica's auction. I appreciate it, folks. You guys have a great afternoon. If I don't see you again, have a great Sunday, and I'll see you tomorrow. We've got some streams to do tomorrow, so keep watching your notifications and make sure you click that bell. That bell will give you notifications on the channel. Click the thumbs up so that I can get a like for this. And, well, YouTube might just help me find more people to watch the show. That would help me. All right, I appreciate it, folks. You guys have a great one. I'll talk to you later.